For all employment contracts concluded in China under Chinese laws, it must be written in Chinese.
This is Complex Made Easy with Dezan Shira Associates in partnership with Laytons ETL.
For all employment contracts concluded in China under Chinese laws, it must be written in Chinese, or at least have a Chinese version if you have the same contract in another language. If you present foreigners with an employment contract in their native language, specify in the contract that the Chinese version shall prevail. In the case of a dispute, you will have to submit the contract to labor arbitration, where they will resort to the Chinese version of the contract. If you specify in the employment contract that, for example, the English version prevails, you will spend additional time and resources to hire a neutral translation firm to translate the English version into Chinese, even though there is already a Chinese version in the employment contract.
Contracts of employment in England do have to be in English, in the English language. There are certain circumstances where employees are, for example, provided with health and safety information in a different language if English is not their first language, and that's very important because you're talking about the health and safety of employees, and that overrides any other consideration in terms of what you are telling employees. There are more sophisticated contractual arrangements which can be put in place where you have employees providing services in more than one jurisdiction. In those circumstances, you would have an English contract in English under English law provided the employee, and a foreign contract, perhaps in that language, provided the employee for the remainder of their duties. So it's not uncommon to find split contracts, but then that's a highly sophisticated and complex arrangement which requires considerable amounts of tax law, not least because the employee will pay and the employer will pay tax and national insurance contributions in each of the separate countries.
If you want to learn more about employment contracts in China and the UK, reach us at uk.ireland@dezshira.com. The UK and Ireland desk at Dezan Shira Associates assists British businesses with market entry, legal, finance and HR in Asia. To stay up to date with the latest investment news into Asia, visit and subscribe to asiabriefing.com.